What is the most rebellious thing you guys did growing up? So much worse than I thought.
It's true story.
We have a
My friends and I would go around and look for chromies to take off people's cars.
You would steal them?
go. I wanted to be a news anchor and I cured a cute blankie. We had a dead rabbit in our pocket. And
I want to be a criminal.
Okay, welcome to week 3 of In the Break. Here we are.
Here we are.
We're out here doing it. Should we crack this?
let's do it.
Do it.
We are all going to need this desperately later in the show.
Dr. Pepper?
Oh, I love that
Yeah,
sound.
it's not an ad for Dr. Pepper. We just all
23
wanted
We all
flavors.
chose it.
one today.
Yeah.
So anyway. Okay, so today we're going to do something
we're
kind
not
of...
drinking yet.
I mean, you can if you want.
Rude.
Next.
Today we're going to do something kind of fun.
Okay.
It's a childhood...
We'll be the judge of that.
Okay. Well, I think it's fun. It's the childhood episode.
So where you're
Perfect
So
for
we're gonna-
my time to shine.
Yes.
So we're going to be answering questions about our time as kids.
Okay.
And so that people could understand what we look like at that time, I asked you to send in pictures of you as a child. So I don't know, Grace, if we can pull those up. But we can start with, oh, Lord, we're starting with me. Okay, so there we are.
Love it.
I like it.
I was me as a child. I was big into hats at the time.
Yeah.
If you can't tell.
I like it.
They are. They were.
How old were you in
fabulous
this
then and
picture?
now.
6, maybe 5,
Okay.
7.
Would you wear them to
Oh,
school?
no.
Or
6,
just
7,
Oh,
as they
okay.
say.
I don't
Okay.
know if I wore.
Nobody says.
I think people do say it. I don't remember. I don't know. But anyway,
You were
so
adorable.
when we talk about it, that's
Your mom thinks you're adorable.
there were some pictures that I thought it was pretty scary looking. But let's pull up the next one. Who do we got next here? Mark, I
Oh,
think.
look at
yeah,
him.
look at
Oh,
him.
yeah, there we go.
Look at
Baby
you.
Mark.
You're
Snappy dresser.
adorable. Go figure.
I think that was second or third grade.
That
Second or third.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this
Yep.
is when you were answering questions, think of that's who you're
Okay,
answering
that's who we're
questions.
It's a
dealing with.
perfect
Okay.
helmet of hair right
All
there.
right.
That is
Speaking
a-
of a helmet of hair, let's pull up Laura's. Actually, let's pull up Laura's. There it is.
Oh, look
Hey,
at
thank
that.
you, Mom.
Dang.
Okay, can I just give context?
What
I
do
wish you would,
What do you
yeah.
call that? Like the mushroom
You
cut?
called it the mushroom cut. It was called the Dorothy Hamill, and it was a thing.
Okay.
I think my mom had that.
My mom and I still
Yeah.
argue about that, and it's
Yeah.
been a lot of years.
You should bring it back.
It never went out. I don't know what you're talking about.
So when you see her next week with that haircut on the
Yeah.
air,
The mushroom
you know
is
what?
what
Call her
calls
Dorothy.
it. Call me Dorothy.
So our stories all kind of fall into this theme today as well. So our first story, we're going to talk about Kellogg's bringing toys back inside cereal boxes.
I didn't know they went away.
I didn't either.
I didn't either. Yeah.
So it's for the first time in more than a decade. You can see
Okay.
here, you can get a toy
They're
in a Kellogg's
great.
box, which is exciting. It's in honor of Toy Story 5 coming out in June. So I had some questions about this, so I looked up some history.
Yeah.
Technically, this started back in 1905.
The toys did?
Yes.
So they were wooden or something?
Well,
You got slivers.
Quaker. Quaker started putting tokens in their boxes of oats. So
And
that's,
we called them tokens, not toys.
well, and then
Let
about
her finish the story.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
and then 4 years later, Kellogg started adding toys into their cereal boxes. So in 1909, this was happening. And then in the mid 2000s, it went away.
I had no idea.
It was
Yeah.
like
We don't
just
need
a
those.
integral part of my childhood.
Yeah, same.
Getting a fresh box of cereal and looking for the toy.
Looking
you
for the
know?
toy.
Yeah.
Those dirty mitts all through the cereal.
Yeah, I
Trying to
know.
find
She's
it.
speaking.
Our
to
parents
you.
loved
My
it.
hands were very clean.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
didn't
With
get-
that haircut,
We didn't get cereal.
we never got sugar cereal when
No
I was a
sugar
kid.
cereal,
it was
I
like
guess, yeah.
Oh, we
Cool, Mom,
were
thanks for the
all
grape nuts.
sugar.
Those are
Yeah,
delicious.
oh yum, Cheerios again.
I had to sneak
We
to my friend's
Frosted
house.
Flakes, all kinds of stuff.
Really?
We were in there.
Just-
Yeah, as a kid.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Like whenever
Look
you
at
wanted.
how happy you
Yeah.
are.
Man.
Look at how happy I am.
She's
That's
so-
why.
You got,
Sugar
Turns
cereal.
Thanks,
out
Mom.
processed food.
yeah.
Who knew?
Really love my
It worked
cornflakes.
for you.
Okay, Laura, you have the next one.
I like this story actually. In New Jersey, there's a first grader there who is always dressed for success. He comes to class every single day in what? A tie.
Oh.
He's trying to be like a little Mark.
Exactly.
He says basically he doesn't feel dressed without it. So when asked why, he says, quote, I just like it. So one of his teachers loved it so much that she wrote a children's book about it called Jordan Fisher Wears a Tie. She said she felt inspired by his bold style, and soon many more kids at his school in New Jersey started showing up wearing a tie.
Dang.
I just thought it was so cute.
think he's
yeah,
adorable.
it's very
And
impressive.
And he's a very cute kid.
And he's
Do you think
adorable.
they're like an actual tie or a clip-on?
Well,
Because that's a
it's a real
challenge.
tie.
It's a challenge to
Yeah.
tie a tie, right?
It's a real tie, and he has a bunch of ties. He's like a big collection of ties. His grandma bought him his first one,
Man.
and so he still wears it. It's
Love
very
it.
sweet. There's one tie, and there was a shot of it in there, but there's one tie that has a picture. You know, you can put a picture on the inside of the tie.
Yeah.
I think of him and maybe a sibling, but I know.
Super cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are yours clip-ons for on
I
there?
I wish I had
Why
them.
don't we get you some clip-ons?
We should get you some
I would love
clip-ons.
that.
Then you can
Make
change
my
them
life
every
easier.
section,
Because
too.
even though I put a tie on every day, sometimes it's just a challenge to get the correct length, like
Yeah.
the first time. So they're retied a few times.
So if he's late to
That
the show,
seems like a
Yeah.
first
he's
world
retying his
problem.
tie.
It is a first world problem.
Did you guys dress up as kids? Were you snappy dressers as children?
You saw the picture, no?
I was until I was like in middle school, and then I kind of regressed
Agreed.
to how the kids dress now.
And I
oddly
wore
enough.
a dress all the time.
Yeah.
I love dresses.
I'm kind of the opposite of you, Mark. I don't think I dressed up a bunch as a kid, but in high school, I wore heels all
Really?
the time in
Really?
high school.
I actually wore
Which is
heels in
weird
high
to
school
think
too.
about.
Yeah,
I did.
Why were we doing that?
I did not.
Because we look good. I don't know about you. Why you did it? I look good.
Okay, well there you
It
go.
was a time period where I don't know. I think I was the only one doing it though.
I
now
think
that
I was too. I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think this current
Nobody talked to
generation
me,
of
so-
middle schoolers are doing it right because they go to school wearing like baggy sweatpants and sweatshirts. They just look comfortable.
They're comfortable all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyways.
I don't know.
That sounds nice.
Should we move on?
That's
Yeah, let's do
that
it.
sounds
This one's kind of my speed. In Florida, the Ocala Police Department said 2 teens were arrested after driving a lawnmower into a Target store. They
sound
caused some damage to the doorway, and as you can see, they obviously filmed this, which probably didn't work out well for them. The night before, one of them used a leaf blower inside a Culver's restaurant, also causing some damage to that restaurant. That was recorded as well, because if you're going to commit a crime, you're going to record it,
course.
That's
obviously.
the thing.
Make sure there's evidence.
So police in Florida issuing a warning about this kind of social media trend, saying, think before you record.
And here's the thing, I laughed at it because I was like,
Or
oh,
maybe
they
just
sound
don't
fun,
do
but
it.
it's
Yeah.
not appropriate.
No.
And somebody could have gotten very hurt.
Well, and they did cause damage to
And they
both the
caused
Target
damage,
and
yeah.
the Culver's,
Yeah.
which is not great. And they're facing criminal charges.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I went to one to face my
I feel like there
mother,
was a time in my life
so-
where I may have thought that was funny.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Now I'd be like annoyed if I saw kids riding
Yeah.
a lawnmower in a store.
Well, you're annoyed when they walk on your
like
lawn.
that crusty
Get off
old,
my
yeah.
lawn, kids.
I just mowed that.
So speaking of that, and I guess I didn't forewarn either of you that I was going to ask you this, so you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
He
But I
will.
was curious, what is the most rebellious thing you guys did growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell those stories?
I cannot. My mom is watching.
Do you know
Sorry,
what
Mom.
chromies are?
No.
They're like the valve stem covers for like car wheels.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah.
So I don't know if they still have them, but like they'd have actual chrome ones.
Okay.
So when I was a teenager on my BMX bike, my friends and I would go around and look for chromies to take off people's cars.
You would steal them?
You're
Can't
a
confirm or
terrible
deny that.
child.
Yeah.
What would you do with them?
I'd put them on our bikes.
Your BMX.
Yeah, BMX bike.
You just had chrome
Chrome. Yeah.
riding in style.
You
I know. Yeah,
were
that's all I'm going to admit to on
crushing it.
TV.
No,
Okay.
really nothing you can admit to, Laura?
Correct.
Wow.
I don't
That's-
believe you.
The statute of limitations is not.
I tried when I was a kid. I tried chewing tobacco. My dad caught
Yeah.
me looking at his can of Copenhagen, and he's like, "Hey man, go ahead and try some." I was like, "All right."
Yeah.
So I took a big old 3-finger dip and just put it on my tongue. Puked everywhere. It's terrible.
Good.
It's probably a good move by my dad.
Probably a good
Yes.
move.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was not a particularly bad kid. I was
Particularly.
You just became a naughty
What happened?
adult.
okay. This is
The trajectory.
going the direction I pretty much figured it would. But no, the only thing I can really think of was I snuck out one night
Yeah.
with my friends, and I don't even think we caused any trouble. I think we just it felt very rebellious to leave in the middle
Yeah.
of the night. We could drive at the time,
Yeah.
and I snuck out. I don't even know what we did, and then I came back home, got into bed, and it's that feeling of I made it,
Yeah.
right? Then the phone rings because my friend didn't make it home in time. So her mom called my mom.
Oh.
My mom comes into the room and she's like, "Did you sneak out tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, but can we talk about it tomorrow? I'm really tired."
No.
Yeah, she left.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Your
I
mom's
think.
nice.
Well, I, was
Yeah,
I didn't ever really get
Leslie
in trouble.
would not have left
No.
the room.
I do have one story I remember, and we weren't intending to be mischievous, but we were. So we found a bunch of golf balls, and we were at our local baseball field, and we were hitting the golf balls with a driver, and it was going across Highway 101.
Oh my gosh.
It turns out they were landing in this huge pottery business where they had a bunch of pots out front.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
You're honestly a criminal.
we weren't not intending to do that, but yeah, it caused some damage.
Well, times were different.
Yeah.
Temps are different,
Yeah.
and we're not condoning any of this.
None of it.
Not everybody
Be
had a
good.
camera on their phone,
Be
thank
good.
goodness.
Yes,
Kids.
remember that. Everybody
Yeah.
does now.
Okay, for this last story,
Yep.
this doesn't tie in as well, but
Nope.
I just thought it was
You
cool.
just took a hard left here.
Listen, it is what it is. Okay, so more than 100 Italian pastry. Do you guys like tiramisu?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. More than 100 Italian pastry chefs broke the Guinness World Record for the longest tiramisu. So you can see a time lapse of them building it here. It measured in, when it was done, at 1,440 feet long,
Holy cow.
which is crazy. It took them 2 days. They only used fresh ingredients. So 19,000
Because
eggs,
they do it right.
Huh.
881 pounds of sugar,
Oh, yum.
120,000 biscuits,
Dang.
which is a lot.
What'd they do with it?
That was my
How do
question.
you
Yeah.
bake
What
it? Well, you
next?
ate it. They're Italian.
Well, but
They ate
that's
it.
so much. What
Right,
do they
it's
do
Italian.
next?
Eat it?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like,
Can they
open
all
it
eat
to the
it?
public.
Grab your spoon, come on down here.
Yeah,
But is
Grab a
that-
bite.
but I
that
don't
what
know how
they-
they bake it. Oh,
You don't
maybe
bake
they just
don't
bake
bake
the biscuits and then put them in.
Yeah.
The whatever they were.
you
Okay,
don't bake
I
it.
got you. I'm tracking now.
But so do you think people were showing up with spoons and just diving
I
in?
would
I-
think they'd probably donate it, right, to charity or give it
they
away.
Didn't,
I mean,
they didn't
Can you
waste
do
it.
that?
they probably don't.
In
I don't
Italy,
know. Yeah.
if you're making tiramisu, people are eating it.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Sign a waiver.
They know how to have a good time.
Italians?
The Italians. Yeah.
Speaking from experience?
Yeah,
or-
yes.
Oh, okay.
Those are my people. Papetti, ring any bells? Like
Just you.
ding, ding.
Okay, so tiramisu is not something that you would probably eat as a kid. I feel like kids don't like tiramisu.
No.
No.
No, we were like, I don't know. We were kind of.
Ho-hos?
Yeah, well,
Ding dong.
we were
I just love saying the word ding dong.
we were not very affluent when I was a kid, so tiramisu wasn't
Tiramisu
wasn't usually on the menu.
Yeah,
Wasn't
we
on the
weren't.
menu,
Yeah. So I have more questions about being a kid,
Yeah.
but I thought we should have a twist
Okay.
because that's normally how I like to do it. So I thought we could eat really hot food.
Yeah.
It's like the hot ones.
It's like Hot Ones. Have you ever seen it, Laura?
No, but I've heard about it. It's
a great show.
So it's a similar concept. We're not doing the same thing as them, but it's a similar concept where I thought the twist could be you're a vegetarian, so you don't have chicken. It's tater tots instead. And these are all local hot sauces.
I love
Except
that.
the last one, which is the hottest sauce from Hot Ones. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry in
I
advance.
am-
My thought was I don't know how spicy these are going to be, and I have to make sure that it gets spicy at least at the end.
Yeah.
The questions are going to get progressively different. I don't know how else to
Okay.
explain it.
Direct it
Okay.
all at him.
So the first
Okay.
question is, what is one food you didn't like as a child but you like now? And you have to eat this before you answer.
That's the Susie's taco sauce.
So that's
Susie's taco sauce.
and that's local. Mm-hmm. Okay. Should I?
That's pretty good.
Should I slide it over here so he can get to it? Do you
This is
wanna-
Well,
made.
you
This
go
is made
now.
in
You
wanna
Pendleton,
try
Oregon.
Susie?
Oh, am I
we'll
answering the
do
first
it.
question?
We'll do it. Oh,
Oh.
Pendleton, Oregon. I love that. All
Pendleton,
right.
yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Along I-84 at Eastern Oregon. Yeah. Pendleton Roundup.
That's not really hot. That's just flavorful.
Well, we're starting off. With
Yeah, I know, you're
hopefully
working into
it's-
it.
it gets
Laura, you
progressively
start. The
hotter.
question is,
Delicious.
what's one food that you
Oh.
didn't like as a child but you like
So
now?
I grew up in Alaska.
Yes.
And my dad would get these. My mom and dad would get these huge boxes of crab. My dad was a stockbroker, and he worked out. He would go out into a lot of the villages and different places and all over the state. And so it must have been. I mean, he must have gone to Kodiak, is where I'm guessing, where they had a lot of crab, and he would get these massive boxes sent to him. And I was like, "Oh, that's so disgusting. Who would eat that?"
Crab.
King crab. Like the blades
Yeah.
were like
Man,
this.
you must have suffered
so
as a kid.
beautiful.
Wow,
and I was
that
like,
sounds
never,
like a
never,
hard way to
never.
grow up.
And
Jeez.
now I'm like, ah,
Okay, so
Really?
king crab.
king crab.
I'm having a hard time thinking of something that I did not like as a kid but like now.
Oh, you
Well,
weren't a picky kid?
I'll go with this one. When I was a kid, I didn't like the taste of beer, but I like it now.
I didn't like avocados as a kid.
Really?
I
At all. I
wasn't a
thought they
huge
were
avocado,
gross.
avocado
And now I
eater,
like them
And now I
so
love
much
them.
that I'm going to win the guac off next
Yeah,
year.
we'll see
Well,
about that.
you're talking to a past champ here, so
Me as well.
bring your A game.
Okay,
Well,
see.
Laura, it's a little sketchy on this one. She's a judge and she won.
No,
Wait,
I was
hang
not a
on.
judge.
Yeah.
I organized.
Yeah. Okay.
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 The jealousy is so thick in here.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, the next one is, what was your favorite subject in school? So you have to eat this first. Eat it first.
Oh, eat it first.
We're on
This
the second one. It's
We're
called,
on
what's
the
it called,
second
by the way?
Huckleberry.
Okay,
Go
this
ahead.
is
Oh, here we go.
Vandal. So this is from Moscow.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
A Northwest Huckleberry Classic, Huckleberry Mustard Hot
Ooh.
Sauce.
Okay.
That is so good.
Yeah, I know. I was excited to try this
A
one.
lot of little flavors in there.
Okay, so
Oh,
Laura,
yeah, that's interesting.
It is different. I like it.
Some layers to it, like
Little-
tiramisu.
Very layered. Oh, look at you wrapping it all together.
just trying to any chance you have to spit
I like
bars.
it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need like 3 of these. by
What?
the way.
Oh, great.
That was not really hot at all.
Okay, well, buckle up. What was
regret
your
I said
favorite
that.
subject in school?
I didn't really do
My
well.
favorite subject was history.
I'm gonna
yeah.
like history, English.
So,
English.
yeah, what about you?
I liked English a lot.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I was an English
I
kid.
did not like English.
And now
Yeah.
you're in this.
No,
job.
I'm in the
And
this
now you're in
profession.
the
yeah, so
profession of
works
it.
out.
That's interesting.
I also had another hot take for you guys. Do you associate colors with subjects in school?
Ooh,
no.
no.
Because we all do.
Really?
Like if you had to choose a notebook color per class.
No.
Like math. What color notebook would you use for math?
He
I
used
mean-
an abacus, so
That's true. I had those like just peachy.
Yeah.
What were they called back in the day? Yeah,
Peaches.
peachy folders.
Really?
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
are,
back in
by
the
the way,
I really-
1980s.
I think they're cool again.
I really thought you guys would have hot takes on this.
No.
We got in an argument
I don't even
about
know what
this,
a hot
actually,
take is, but-
the other day.
So like math would be red? Is that
Math
what
is
you're
red.
thinking? Okay.
Math is red.
Yeah,
No,
I can see
and
that.
no.
Yeah,
No,
so Taylor
math is
disagrees.
green.
No,
Math
math
is
is green.
green.
Math is green.
My daughter
You
has,
guys
I
are
think, green for
out
math.
of your minds.
Well,
Yeah.
she's a summa cum laude. So
Well, Izzy's
what
not.
Izzy
Izzy's
says
always right.
goes.
Izzy's always right.
So me and Sydney agreed on this.
Yeah, we did.
Go on.
We both agreed math is red.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reading is blue.
Yes.
Okay.
Science is green.
Yes.
Yeah.
Social studies is yellow.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yeah.
then history is orange.
I would agree with all those.
No.
Yeah, that seems to make sense.
Wrong.
Taylor disagrees very heavily.
Is that like
Is that a buzzer that you
that
just
was a
did?
buzzer.
I believe.
Okay.
Go, Taylor.
I believe English is red. Math is green.
Yes.
Science is blue.
Got it.
Social studies yellow.
Yes.
History orange.
Yep.
Purple for like art or psychology.
Oh.
Correct.
I love you,
Ding, ding,
Taylor,
ding,
with
ding,
my
ding,
whole
ding.
heart.
Did you have psychology
But
in
you are wrong.
high school?
Horrific answer.
I don't
Horrific.
think she on it. Did she have what?
Psychology in high school?
Yes.
I didn't have that.
I did
You
not
didn't
have
have.
that.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll work on that. I'll get you a
Wow.
class.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question.
Go on.
What did you want to be when you grew up? So this hot sauce that we're going to try for this question, Sky Valley Salsa Verde sauce. It's supposed to be
Yep.
medium. And this is from Sandpoint, Idaho.
Oh.
All right. I like salsa verde.
Okay. We'll give her a dip. What do I want to be when I
It's
grow up?
green, which reminds me of math.
Let me take a little.
Wrong
Take
again,
this for a
Laura.
spin real quick.
Wrong
do
again.
it, Do it.
I like that one.
Okay, you do.
That'd be good on like eggs.
Oh, that would be good. On
Okay.
I wanted to be.
That'd be good on a grilled cheese.
I was such a jock. I wanted to be a professional athlete or a pilot. Both
Yep.
things I did not end up doing.
Yep.
So I'm a failure.
Yeah, people see you around town. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That
Mark
guy's
Henry, what a failure.
Yeah. Yep.
I can see that though.
Yeah.
I was
Me being
not
a
a jock.
failure.
You being a failure.
What?
Oh, clearly. I know. I had
sorry,
a
what?
picture, I had a picture of me playing a sport, and you refused.
I didn't refuse.
to
We'll
show
put it in. We'll
What
add
was
it
the
in.
sport?
Well, I don't remember playing it, but there's a picture of me playing softball, which I thought was
don't
cute since
remember.
my daughter plays softball. But
Yeah.
I was like, see, that's where you got it from. But I actually don't. I think maybe my mom just dressed me up.
Do you have any idea what position you would play if you had to play?
I don't remember playing it.
But if you had to guess.
Second base.
Okay.
Because that's what Izzy plays. So I assume she got it from me.
That's what it is.
What did I want to be? You know, I don't remember like, oh, I have to be this or that. I loved flying. And in Alaska, a lot of private pilots, and I flew in a lot of small planes. So I assumed I would fly at some point.
okay.
Which I don't because I'm a terrible driver. So I'm assuming that would not translate well in the air.
Yeah, I don't want you
and
in the air.
then, but I don't remember like, and I danced a lot as a kid, but I never wanted to do it professionally because I wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So I too have failed because
You'd
I'm
make a
still
good
looking.
Radio City Rockette because you're always doing the high kicks.
She is always doing a high kick.
I went to the Barbara
true.
Clausen School of Dance. Barbara's daughter was a Rockette.
Oh.
I always thought, and the
Makes sense
Rockettes,
now.
that like it's a dream
Yeah.
to be in the
Yeah.
kick line and the
Yeah.
Rockettes.
That would be the coolest.
Yeah, that would be the absolute coolest
Yeah.
at Christmas time, of
Yeah.
course.
My grandma
obviously.
offered to pay for private flight lessons if I agreed not to play football as a kid. And I was like, sorry, Grandma. I'm playing
Really
football.
didn't want you to
yeah.
go
Oh, your grandma. That, I love that
I know,
idea.
bless her
though.
heart. R.I.P. Mavis.
All right.
I love that.
What about you, Sydney?
Oh, well, I wanted to go into the news. I wanted to do this since I was really
Wrong
little.
answer.
But I will say, I had a.
You're like the most logical person.
Yes, I had it, but I had a short period of time where I really wanted to be a paleontologist.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is a cool. Like when you think about though, like
The idea of
it
is it cool, but then
Yeah.
you're just digging in dirt all day.
right? It
Yeah.
Well, I
looks
saw
like
Jurassic
really cool.
Park,
Jurassic
Yeah.
and I was
Park,
like,
and yeah,
clearly
Yeah.
that's my next logical.
Did you try
move.
by the way?
I did. It was good.
Okay.
yeah, I
liked
love
it.
that.
I liked it. Okay, next one.
Oh,
I like the label.
me too.
This is Irish Spikes.
That
Happy
does
Taco.
not look Irish at all.
Well,
Sure, yeah, that doesn't match the.
okay.
Maybe we
It's-
don't know.
This
What do
one
we
I think
know?
is also out of Moscow, but I'm having a hard time
Moscow's
finding it.
kind of crushing it.
Yep.
Do you know the Moscow Farmers Market is opening?
Moscow,
the-
beautiful Moscow.
All right.
Idaho.
For the
Perfect.
season. I bet
Okay.
maybe
Oh, I
maybe
don't
you
need
can
to
get
open
it there.
this.
I wonder if you can
Okay.
get it there.
Let's
All
hit
right.
it up.
So
Do
get
it.
in there. See
Do we
how
have
you feel.
another question that
Another
to ponder
question.
while I'm
Do it.
Did you have something you carried around as a child? Oh, I'm so excited for your answer.
Go on.
happy alcohol?
Bad behavior, does that count?
Yes. Good? Spicy?
I like that too.
Not spicy at all. I'm waiting
Not-
for like the slow burn. but
I
it
am too.
Hasn't hit yet.
I'm waiting it for the.
Yeah.
But it was great
Super
flavor.
mild. Super mild. Good
Great
flavor,
flavor.
though. Yeah, absolutely. Great on a burrito.
Okay.
Something I
really
carried
good.
around as a kid.
Uh-huh.
I was really into like, my dad gave me a pocket knife, like a buck knife. Carried
Yeah.
around a lot as a kid, which probably
So
can't
weapons.
do
You carried weapons
Yeah,
around.
anymore as a
that's
kid.
really sweet.
And I never smoked, but I
While
always
you
had a
were
lighter for
robbing
some
the
reason.
Chrome.
My dad gave
So
me
you
like
have
this,
weapons
you
and
know, like
you're
a
lighting
Zippo
stuff on
lighter,
fire.
right?
Yeah.
Let's get this like a metal lighter. You can refill it.
To go with the chrome he stole.
Yeah,
on
my
our
dad
base.
had one from his time in the army, and it was like engraved with our name on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I always carried that around with me. So I had a knife and a lighter with me as a kid at all times, which sounds
I'm gonna
awful.
scoot
Yeah,
over.
you should move a little bit over
Making
here.
me
Yo.
uncomfortable.
What about you, Laura?
I don't remember carrying anything around. Okay. I loved this Lucky Rabbit's foot. Like it was a keychain.
Part of a dead animal. You guys
Well,
are so unhinged.
I
And a
did-
flask?
No, here's the best part. I didn't really. I just thought people called it a lucky rabbit's foot. Like
Yeah.
it didn't ever dawn on me it was actually a rabbit's foot. And then my dad was like, "Yeah, it's a rabbit's foot," and I cried and cried and cried.
That sounds right. You're a vegetarian now.
Well,
you-
because of the lucky rabbit foot,
That's
it probably
why?
scarred me. No,
Do you want to hear an unhinged story about rabbits?
Always.
It involves my wife.
Oh,
It'll-
boy.
even better.
Grew up in Alaska as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had pet rabbits for a time, and like in their backyard, like in a I don't know enclosure. And one day they were eating enchiladas. My wife's dad is originally from Mexico, right? Eating enchiladas, and they're like, "Oh, what is this?" And it was
No.
the rabbits. He cooked up the rabbits, put them in the enchiladas. Yeah, it's a pretty traumatic story.
These are potatoes.
These are
right?
potatoes.
Pretty traumatic story for my wife.
You know, we have a
I can't remember its name, but
I would
the
hate
story goes
that.
like, "Oh,
would have hated
where's so
that.
and so?" And the dad was like, "Oh, you're eating them."
And they really were.
It's a true story.
We have a similar story. So before we moved to Alaska, my parents bought rabbits
Yeah.
to show us the miracle of
And
life.
two rabbits quickly turned into a lot of rabbits.
Yes, the miracle of life happened over and over. And we were living
just
in
minutes.
LA. So what were they doing with a hutch of rabbits? I don't know. But my dad gave them to somebody at the office because I think it was at the time we were moving to Alaska.
It was Easter.
It was Easter. And my dad must have contacted him or said how the rabbit's doing. He said they were delicious. They ate Marlene and Cy, our rabbits.
Marlene.
Marlene and Cy, it's after my aunt and uncle.
Delicious.
I
Yeah.
didn't expect
Some
this to take such
rabbit
a turn.
trauma.
Well, you asked.
Yeah.
You asked
I
about
didn't
our childhood.
actually ask about that.
Oh, maybe she didn't. Yeah, I don't know how that came out.
Don't bring it up around my
Don't
wife.
ever bring it up.
I won't.
To your wife.
I
Childhood
won't.
trauma.
That sounds
Sorry,
awful.
Maribel. I hope she's not watching.
Okay, we have 3 more.
Okay.
Okay.
And I believe that these are pretty serious.
Okay,
hot
we're stepping up a
sauces.
notch.
Okay, you do it.
Oh.
Did you get to try it? Did you try that one?
I did try it.
Wait,
I-
did
it was
you
good.
answer the
And did
question?
you answer the
Oh, I
question?
keep forgetting. So I had a blankie that I carried around when I was little. Yeah.
Again, like she's just
So typical.
You're so adorable.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
oh, I wanted to be a news anchor and I carried a cute blankie. We had a dead rabbit in our pocket and a lighter.
I wanna be a criminal.
Man.
She wanted to be a thug.
I
what
carried
is
around a little
happening?
pink blanket. Yeah.
Dang.
And I had a little baby doll too. That
When
I
did
always
you
carried
like?
around.
How long did you carry it around for? Like into high school?
Probably too long.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, it's back on my desk. You haven't seen that? No, I probably middle school. I stopped. I would guess.
I think before middle
Okay,
school.
maybe
Nobody goes to
early.
middle school.
I don't remember being
The
bullied over
blankie.
this,
Yeah,
so it would have been
probably
an
before middle
appropriate
school.
time
Yeah.
to stop carrying it around.
Okay, this one is called the Secret Aardvark Red Scorpion Fiery Hot Sauce. This one is from Oregon City, Oregon, which is like Clackamas County in Oregon, kind of outside Portland. I'm keep looking for like the Scoville scale, right?
Yeah, I tried to find that. I couldn't
But
see it on
it
any of them.
I'm going to warn you guys, this one is a lot more serious than the previous
This one's
one.
okay.
I don't think. I think
Now I'm
Taylor
sweating.
might be
We've
crying.
We've been secretly trying them off camera over here.
No,
Yeah.
I like that.
All right, here we
Taylor
go.
is
Is that, a
crying.
good, is that a good one?
Guys, my eyebrows
crying.
are sweating.
Your eyebrows
You're
are
sweating,
sweating.
now. Oh my gosh, her eyebrows are sweating. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put a ton on.
Oh, it
I can
starts
smell
slow
it.
and then it heats up.
Okay, Mark, perfect. I can ask you the question.
Yeah.
What are 3 words your parents would use to describe you as a kid? Oh my gosh.
Are you okay? That wasn't that bad.
Okay, muscles.
Laura,
I'm gonna
the
need
next
another
2
one.
words definitely spicier.
I feel it felt good. Felt real good.
Okay.
3 words to describe me. Probably like a bit mischievous, I would say. Kind, and competitive. I would say.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are words that, to
My
describe you
parents
now,
would-
or
no,
your
when I was
parents?
a kid, yeah.
Oh, when you were a kid.
Yep.
Yes, they apply now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mischievous.
Oh, I mean, you don't do bad things, but he
No.
thinks about doing bad things. And we
I
talk
mean,
about him during the break.
I don't know. How about funny things?
Yeah, no,
Not
mischievous
bad
is
things.
cute. But
Yeah.
mischievous is a cute word. Oh, yeah, I know, right? Did he go get us more drinks?
He's getting you a little treat.
Okay.
He's getting a little treat.
A little treat for you guys.
That really creeps up on you.
Yeah, it did. It just hit me. You know what I mean? Like, but
It
now
wasn't
my
too
nose
bad.
Is, now my nose is clear.
Sinuses are clear.
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So, chicken.
Laura, what about? Wow, my mouth is on fire. What about you?
Oh, my parents. What
Yeah.
would they do?
3 words.
Oh, for sure, mischievous, with an exclamation. We're as a kid, right?
Yeah. Which did not-
Rambunctious. My mom always called me rambunctious.
That's a fun word.
That
yeah,
is
it's a
fun.
fun word.
Yeah.
I don't know if she meant it fun, but it sounded better than just being like, well, you were out of control. So
Sure.
rambunctious.
Yeah.
But they said happy. I was always really happy.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
That's great.
I was always really
I like
I would be
that.
kind of rambunctious and happy would describe me now.
I think so.
Yeah.
Mischievous a
Yeah.
little bit.
My nose is
And
just
you are
running.
You're
Yeah. No,
you're
I've got.
really going. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Your nose is for sure.
I think I brought extra makeup,
Snot
so we should
alert.
be
Snot
We
alert.
should be fine.
Just a little snot rocket.
Very ladylike. Would love to do that. 3 words for me. I would say. I was always I think I was a pretty empathetic kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that
So my
word.
mom
Yes.
probably they would say that. I know a word they used was precocious.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I
It's
like
like a
was
it.
400 level word.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you see the hat?
That's true. Yes.
I was really and I would say sarcastic. I was a really sarcastic kid.
But we now know that's a sign of intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that because you're kind of sarcastic now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I mean,
Oh.
I
Oh.
think-
Jackson to the rescue.
in a
Thanks,
brilliant
Jackson.
way.
Did you already drink that one? Did you already drink your whole thing?
Why are you judging me? Yes.
Dang, bro.
that's a lot of judgment.
I
Okay.
was just curious. Impressive.
This next one.
Oh, Jackson, I love him.
Oh, okay.
It sounded a little creepy and weird.
This-
I do, but I
He
love
liked
him.
it.
I liked it. I liked
He
it.
did. He seemed
Okay.
comfortable with it. Okay.
Let's move on. So
Murder.
this one is called Murder
Dear
Hornet.
Lord.
I love it. Where's that
So-
from?
Seattle, Washington.
Okay. Okay.
Murder. Black label hot sauce. Hornet.
One thing I want to point out is we said a lot of these weren't real hot,
Oh.
but they were very flavorful.
Very flavorful.
So I do think
Yeah.
we have an amazing.
This looks
hot
like soy
sauce
sauce.
scene.
Yeah.
It's meant to like.
and
lure you
there's
in.
also I think Fletcher's is made in Spokane, and I couldn't get a Fletcher's for this, but
Okay.
Huh.
maybe
Okay.
we could do the challenge again with
Sure.
more local.
Sure.
Because there's
I'm
a lot
kind
of.
of afraid.
If Fletcher is
My
watching, send
mouth
it.
really.
Is on.
Do we have another question?
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah, ask it right before he puts it in his mouth.
What is a core memory from your childhood?
That one's not bad.
Okay,
What
it's
is-
ghost pepper, so like give it a second.
Okay.
Yeah. This is really good.
Don't
though.
feel it yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Core memory as a kid.
scream like a banshee here in a minute. Go on.
I think like the first time my dad took me deer hunting. It's probably like a good core memory as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see
I would say like that's the one that comes to mind. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now.
I am
kind of a hard.
I was
yeah.
kind of a latchkey kid. Like both my parents worked full time. We were like kind of lower middle class, and so I was just ran with my friends all day.
Yeah.
We have pictures of you. Like, I asked for pictures for something I was working on. You were all on your bikes
Yeah.
through the neighborhood. And you're like, that's my childhood right
Yes,
there. They were
yes,
always on their
exactly.
bikes.
So that's kind of a core memory is like riding bikes around town with my friends and just finding stuff to do. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Really good.
I don't
Feeling
know
great.
what she is.
Yeah.
Do you need...
I feel the best actually I've ever felt.
I'm
Electric.
CPR trained.
No.
Okay, well, we have
I've
two more
always-
to
That
get
one,
to.
that one's not bad at all.
Okay.
Actually, did you try
I thought
it?
it was delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, it just looks scary, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's called murder.
Well, murder
So,
hornet.
Murder hornet. Oh, murder hornet.
Okay.
I just thought it was called murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a hot
Murder.
sauce called murder. Okay, what about you?
Core memory?
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't. It's hard for me to choose one. My mom, I mentioned we grew up in Alaska, and they were from California, and she wanted us to be exposed to everything, right? So
Yeah.
I just have all these memories of my parents doing these really just goofy, fun things, standing on a street corner for hours and hours and hours in the freezing cold. It was below zero to see the Pope go by. She is on the verge of passing out.
No, I'm not.
If I
I'm
knew the
doing
Pope
really
now, I would
good.
have him say a prayer for me.
That's right.
But we stood on a
Leo's
street
got my
corner
back.
in that, and we're not Catholic, but we were going to see the Pope.
Yeah.
She dragged us out of bed in the middle of the night to see the King of Norway land in Alaska, and I cried because he wasn't wearing a crown or a scepter. He's just some
Just
guy
in a
in a
Just in a
suit.
suit. Yeah.
So boring.
She woke us up in the middle of
King
the night. They
Triton.
wanted to show us the northern lights out my window. Yes, I thought it was going to look like that. You can't just show up in the middle of the night wearing a suit and think a kid's going to
That's
be
a
like,
king? What
hey,
is it? What
that's
is this? A
fun.
normal guy.
Anyway, she did. They both. Anyway, we just had these amazing things that they would do, and there was so much laughter in my house all the
Yeah.
time. My parents my mom is still with us, are so fun. When I was growing up, it was just a happy, fun place. So
Yeah.
it was doing all these fun things and doing everything. They
Yeah.
both just wanted us to experience everything. So I just have those great little
I love
little
that.
nuggets.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, when I was little, well, one that comes to mind immediately is every once in a while it would be like a dad day, and it would be just me and my dad, and we'd go to Fish Trap Lake and we'd fish,
Yeah.
Love that.
which was really fun.
Love that.
But also when I was little, I was always trying to I probably got this from my mom. I was always trying to make the house feel really fun. Like we would camp in the living room, or I would turn the kitchen into like a restaurant, and I would serve my parents, and we would go to the grocery store and like pick out a bunch of stuff. And looking back, it was all pre-made.
Yeah.
And at the time I was like, I made this myself.
Yes.
I made it
Such
from
a
scratch.
cook.
But I would print out like menus, and I would dress up, and I'd say, welcome to Shea Schofield or whatever. And
Yeah.
I always thought that was so fun as a kid, and I'm sure that was my mom, like
Yeah.
teaching me helping me and
Yeah.
figuring that out. But my mom was great at making all of the holidays feel really festive and making
that.
every day feel really festive. So
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
that's probably a core
That's
memory.
how my
That's
wife
fun.
is for my kids now.
Yeah.
She's like,
She is like that.
it'd be boring if it was just me. Like she's the one that makes it all happen.
Well, I do think, like, I have such good memories. Like I said, they enjoyed everything, and we
Yeah.
celebrated everything, every holiday.
Yeah.
No, don't start.
No, it just got caught. I think it's the
Hey.
lodged in my mouth.
Lock in, dude. We got
All right,
we
we
got
have
the,
one
Lock in.
the hot one.
Okay, so I wasn't sure how spicy any of these were going to be because I didn't try them ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I wanted the last one to be really, really spicy. So in engineering, they have a bunch of hot sauces, and they actually have the Hot Ones hot sauces.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the final hot sauce from Hot Ones.
Okay.
It
know.
is supposed
See
to
it?
be really intense. It's called the Last Dab.
Last dab.
This one is not local, obviously, but I wanted to make sure that it
It's from
didn't-
Brooklyn, New York.
didn't get boring.
They seem like fun people in Brooklyn.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Like
On
10
the-
out of 10
on the heat
heats,
level.
On the heat level.
All right.
Just a little.
I'm
Just-
going to be
just-
fine.
Just dip just dip your toe in it, you know?
I don't know if you are.
I'm going to be really good.
Is that enough?
I feel good about it.
Yes.
His eyes got big. Oh no.
Yeah, he was like, okay.
Okay.
It's a progressive. It'll get worse over time.
It's a slow burn.
Okay,
Yes.
so Mark,
Yeah.
the question is, what is one thing you would tell little you? Little Mark. What'd you tell him?
I think I think it took me a while to get over like caring what other people like thought about me. I think that's what I would say. Like
okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Like almost like
good.
you, in a way, like you set your expectations for yourself based on what
Yeah.
you think other people would think or say about you, right? I think I would tell myself to not do that and just go after what you want.
Ditto.
Yeah.
I would tell myself not to let Sydney grow up and try this.
I didn't think it was that bad. To be
No,
honest.
actually, it's not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
bad.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah,
it burned
no,
a
it
little
was
bit, but
fine.
now I'm okay. Is it going to get worse?
It's not bad at all. I
Oh,
think it's fine.
it got a little worse. I just
can't
swallowed
feel
and
my
it got a
right
little worse.
lung.
Can you normally?
I took a pretty big
Heap.
scoop there.
Big
It's
dab?
getting me,
I might
it's
get
getting
a
me pretty
bigger
good.
dab.
Yeah.
Maybe I need a little bit more to get me.
Just take that rest
It's
of it.
really
I-
hot in
yeah.
here, you guys. I'm telling you.
I'm waiting. Okay.
Not
Well,
bad.
I don't know.
Give it like 2 minutes. No.
Look at Taylor.
Yeah.
Looks.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like she just.
My
broke
co-producer
up.
here is gone.
Did you do all of them, Taylor? Did you try all of them?
She can't speak right now. Taylor's like, I have to go home.
I can't feel my tongue that good.
Really?
That well.
How much do you use it? Oh, wait a minute. You're an anchor.
How much do you use it?
Kidding. It was a joke.
What? What would you tell little
Usually
you,
every day.
Laura?
I mean, yeah.
What would you tell
I
little
think what
you?
he,
What would you tell little Laura?
little Laura,
Yeah.
you mean, not to get that
Little
haircut.
little mushroom cut Laura.
Little mushroom guy. Look, can we put the picture back up? No, I think Mark was spot on, and I tell this to my daughter all the time. Do not set your expectations for your life or for yourself, for your view of yourself by others.
Yeah.
Right? You spend so much time. You
Right.
spend your whole, especially your 20s, working and trying to be everything you think you're supposed to be or people want you and dressing. And obviously, I gave that up a long time ago, but dressing and doing all the hairs and wearing all the makeup and doing all the things that everybody says you should do. And then obviously, I don't anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel much happier.
100%.
It's very freeing.
freeing to do
like
that.
in your case, you just eat a bunch of hot sauce and you can't feel your tongue. So how
Yeah.
much can you care about stuff?
That's
right?
so true.
Yeah.
Here's a thought.
Also,
How about-
like, I don't know. I feel like, at least for me, especially in my adult life and my career, like, I have a hard time, like enjoying the present because you're always thinking about, like, okay, what's
Yes.
next? What's
Yes.
next? You know?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
True.
kind of just enjoy where you're at.
Yeah.
Try to.
That's good
Yeah.
advice.
Enjoy this moment, Sydney.
Feel it. Feel everything
am-
about the moment, Sydney.
I am sweating.
Yeah.
She is
is
sweat-
what's happening.
Like I don't know if people can see this. Like there's a sheen on you right now that
It's-
is.
I think someone may have turned up the heat. I also can't feel my throat that well. But who needs that? Okay,
Again, extraneous. The throat is fairly extraneous.
one thing I would tell little Sydney:
Is to get better friends than these two.
don't go in. Don't try this. Don't do the show.
This was
don't
your
launch
idea.
the show. Oh, little me.
Little me.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Something maybe about the hat?
I just
I'm trying to help her.
feel like I just need a little moment here.
She's like, she can't talk still.
No,
like,
I can
are you
talk.
still muted?
You can do it.
I
You
can
can do
talk.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
She crying. I feel better.
Taylor.
I feel better.
It tingles in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not in a
Bad
good
tingle.
way.
It's a bad tingle.
I don't feel bad. do you?
Yeah.
I really thought I was gonna be
Killing
the
it.
best out
Yeah.
of the three of us.
Well, you are the best. This is the most fun. Watching you sweat like
Okay.
this is actually spectacular.
Okay. One thing I would tell little me would be very similar, I think, to what you guys said. I mean, oh man. It's hard to just it's hard to just talk about stuff. It's
Yeah.
hard. That's a hard
Don't touch
thing.
your eyes.
Harder thing.
Maybe we can just post
really
your
smart.
responses online.
We'll add it in post. Okay, I would say that things, you kind of were talking about expectations. Don't make plans that are, that sounds bad.
Make no plans.
Wing it.
Have no
really,
goals.
that's not exactly what we were saying.
Yeah.
The words are harder now than they were earlier. But no, like I had a whole plan for a timeline and how everything exactly was going to work out, and it didn't go that way at all. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I think kind of trying. Oh, it got bad again. I think. Can we move on?
Yeah. We can. Do you think it would help if you took more?
Yeah, yes.
Like
You know,
even it out?
sometimes,
So much worse than I thought it was going to be.
I keep trying to rub my eyes, but I don't want to because I'm afraid I have hot sauce on them. Okay. Here,
Yeah.
try some of that. Maybe Susie's taco will balance it out.
Susie, I need you, Susie.
Susie treated us nice. I mean, it was flavorful.
If only, like, you don't really get wisdom until you're older, right? If only
Well, I'm still waiting.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm still waiting on some
Yes.
myself. But it'd be nice to be able to have that wisdom when you're
Yes.
younger, right?
Yeah.
But you just don't have that perspective yet.
Yeah.
In life.
Well,
Yeah.
it's fun watching the kids, right? We have kids at that age. They're really starting to develop, strong identities, and they're going through all these changes. I can't look at you while I'm talking, and you want to tell them all of these things,
Yeah.
like, don't let other people ruin your life. Don't do this. Don't. It's just something you have to move through. I think, and
Yeah.
have to
I
experience
certainly
it.
did, and had to experience it, and I think it'll be fun watching them
Yes.
do that. And I'm hoping some of the things that we say to our kids now, we don't have kids together, by the way, that sounded really weird, but to our
I
respective
don't think
families.
anybody thought that. Laura.
Yeah, just FYI.
Well, now I took it to a really good place. But I hope, it'll be fun, to see if they remember some of this and digested some of it, even if they didn't really react to it at the moment. So
Right.
I also think when you're a kid, maybe particularly a teenager, a lot of stuff feels like the end of the world. It feels like that boy broke up with me.
Sure.
This is the end. It feels like this is it. Everything feels so high stakes.
it
Yeah.
does.
And I think it would be nice to tell little me, hey,
Right.
It's okay.
say thank you to that guy who
Yeah.
broke up with me, by the way.
Yeah, he did you a favor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would be good to kind of. It's hard to have that perspective, like you were
Yeah,
saying,
it is.
when you're young, because everything does feel like very high stakes, and it's
Yep.
not.
Right.
No, I for sure, you look back and think, oh, that was such a big moment. And it really, I tell my daughter this all the time. I know these things seem like massive moments, and
Yeah.
they aren't
Yeah.
right now. And
Yeah.
on one hand, you're saying, live in the moment, enjoy everything. And then something happens. And I'm like, yeah, it's really not that big of a
Yeah,
moment.
I
But
know.
it really isn't. You put it on a timeline.
Right.
And I try to tell her, I don't even remember. She keeps asking me all these questions. Well, you were my age when you were. I'm like, honey, that was so long ago. And they aren't that big of a moment. Your life is made up of all these little things. So don't give one thing so much power,
For sure.
right?
No, my daughter just tore the ACL in her knee. And she's kind of
I
going through right
know.
now, too. And I'm like, hey, you'll come out on the other side of this stronger. I promise you.
absolutely.
But as a 14-year-old, it's kind of hard to think about that, right?
It is, yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
That is really hard.
Well, that's what I would tell. That's what we would tell.
We're all stronger for having gone through this experience today.
I actually
Maybe
feel
get
Trauma
wiser.
bonds,
I feel
kind
really
of.
good. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's all warm.
Yes.
Okay, that's one way to. That's
Do you
one,
drink
that's-
alcohol?
That's one way to do it.
All right, unks and aunties. It's time for Gen Z slang again. Today's first word,
Go on.
and Sydney might know this one. So if you do,
'Cause I
let
am-
them guess.
I'm Gen Z passing.
Gen Z passing, as we've established
I
on
didn't
this
know
show.
that.
You've never
I
said,
didn't-
you've
That's
never
a
said that
thing?
to me.
Gen
I don't
Oh, it's
know.
because you're not.
Because we're so far past it.
Goodness.
Our first word today is wig.
Wig.
Like wig out,
Wig.
like freak out.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Like when I was a kid, you'd say, "Why, man, you're wigging out over that? Why?"
Wig. Nope.
Like freaking out. Yeah.
Are you familiar with this? You don't know
I
this
actually
one?
don't know this one. No.
Okay, would you guys like me to use it in a sentence?
Please.
Yes.
Wig.
Oh. That must be a Gen
These
Z
kids
thing
out
too.
here.
Is that like a term of like approval?
Were you just clocking it there, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Clock
was
it.
this?
Clock it.
He's learning
Clock it.
slowly.
It's just one.
I was also mewing occasionally.
Oh, I'm mewing, so I can't. I can't.
Cut yourself on that jawline.
He's right.
Okay. Another sentence, please.
That is like that's it. Like there's
Is
no
it-
context.
There's
So it's like an exclamation.
Yeah.
Wig.
wig.
So if someone
that's
says
so
something like you agree with, you say wig.
big.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so.
I don't think they know.
They don't seem to know.
No,
They
it's
don't
just
seem
like
to know.
Whoa, whoa.
well, let's
kidding,
go
I'm
watch
kidding.
it.
Okay, I'm joking. We're fine.
The term is kind of like it's almost like you're agreeing with somebody. It's also kind of like you did that.
Gen Z slang right there, guys.
Wait, don't worry. We
I know
will.
what that word means.
Let's go ahead and cut that out. The term originated in the LGBTQ ballroom drag culture. It derived from phrases like "my wig snatched" or "my wig flew" to describe a show-stopping moment.
Oh,
Okay.
honestly, all the good slang starts in drag.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
If you watch okay, do you guys? Well, you guys don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
No.
No.
No. Well, I do, and I will tell you, the slang that they're using is cool years before people start using it. They're
Really?
way ahead of the game.
Is
Trendsetters.
it cool if nobody's using it though?
It gets really
Oh,
cool.
it gets cool. They are the.
They
So
start it,
wig
cutting
would
edge
be
cool.
like slay.
Yep.
Yeah. Like it's a little different, but it's just like wig.
All right.
You know?
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna try that one. Sir.
I'm gonna try it on my kids tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I'll
I've
try it
been-
on my mom. We'll see what she does.
I've been banned from trying
sure, no.
anything on my kid. She said no more.
The next one is frying.
Oh.
Frying.
Like
Does that
that's
mean, like-
frying me.
Yes.
Or like to explain, like if someone's cooking, like oh you're cooking right now, like you're frying.
No.
no,
Oh.
like you're mad. That is
No.
frying me.
No.
No.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
roasting someone.
That's I think maybe I'm right about this, maybe I'm wrong. But that's frying me, like what you said was really funny. It's taking me out. Like that.
Correct.
Oh.
I think that's our first correct
Let's
answer.
go.
Dang.
I think the hot sauce really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I still
Hot
can't really
sauce
feel
is
my
frying
throat.
you.
And I'm sweating. But yeah, I got one right, and that's all I'm gonna remember from today.
I'm jealous.
Frying me like
It's because you're Gen Z passing.
you're Gen Z.
I
But she
am
was
Gen Z passing.
she was close enough. She could see it frying me in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a background on that sentence,
Yeah.
or that saying, there's not really like a background. It just sort of came into the vernacular for us.
Okay.
I think my guess, this is a guess, is that there's this whole meme called deep frying something. where
I
you
did not know
take
about
it And
this.
you do a bunch of edits all over it, so it's just they call it deep fried.
We need a camera on Taylor in
Yeah.
the
Doing
future.
this. I'm like,
We
what?
need a camera.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Like,
So that would
Sure.
be my guess for the. for
Okay.
Okay.
is this
Taylor
clapping?
Cam.
Is
Clock-
that Gen Z
clock it.
clap?
Clocking it.
Oh, clocking it.
It's
Yeah.
like yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Use your middle finger, Laura.
Oh my! I'm good with that one. Okay.
Lots of practice.
I'm good with that one. Okay, what's the next one?
All right, folks. Our next word
Okay.
is guap.
Guap.
Ooh, I like
Oh,
it though.
like
I like
the
way it
Spanish
sounds.
word guapo, like
Guapo,
handsome.
like handsome.
Yeah. Guap. Yeah.
I will use it in a sentence.
Okay, perfect.
They jealous of my guap.
Oh.
Is it
there
like
we go.
drip?
Yeah, handsome.
Is
right?
it similar
Yeah.
to drip?
Yeah.
Of my swag, my swagger.
I've heard the kids say that about me before.
You guys are pretty dead on.
Oh.
Yeah, because we are guap.
It's
Guap.
swagger.
We are guap.
We are the guaps.
We are guap.
You don't know what it means, and you're like, "That's me." I'm
He
guap.
said I was dead on.
You're pretty dead on.
Like I like his guap. Like I like his swagger.
Yeah, it's swag and it's money. Like
Okay.
if you have a
And I-
ton of money, you're like, I got guap.
I got guap.
I like
guap.
gold.
All
They jealous of my guap.
Dang.
Those are my
It
guap.
originated from the 1990s/2000s in
Oh.
New York. They used it in hip hop culture. It was influenced by the Spanish word guapo.
Yeah.
Handsome or bold.
Muy guapo is what you hear all the time.
Well, okay.
You
Yeah.
guys were all
See? Got
over
that.
it
We were
today.
all
Gen
over
Z?
it. Yeah, we were
We're all
Gen Z.
over it. We're on
Like
top
it.
of it. We're below it. We're
I
in
just
it.
went back
Yeah,
5
that's
years
right.
in my age. Yeah,
We're frying. We're frying in it.
We're frying in it.
No.
We're
No.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to also do the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's what all the kids are like. I want to be like that.
Who
Yeah.
is this?
They
Yeah.
watch in the break and they go, "I want
watch-
to be like that Lord
Yeah.
Let me
Betty."
download that KREM 2
Laura.
app.
Laura's like, "What's up, fellow youth?"
Eutherians. No,
Maybe we should move on.
I'm not allowed to talk
okay.
to the kids.
We did it though. That was a good segment. Okay.
Yeah.
They
Good.
both
So
look
me, you did
distraught.
good. I
So
mean,
maybe
except
it
for the
wasn't as
Taylor
good as I
part where
thought.
she cried.
I didn't cry.
It
Well,
all-
not over the words. Maybe a little over the. Hot
I think you
sauce.
may have cried over the
I
hot
think you
sauce.
were crying. Don't be
Okay,
shy.
maybe like tears were forming, but like
Just-
none of them
just welled up a
fell.
little
They
bit.
And that's what
fell.
counts.
Yeah.
And that's what counts. Okay, the last thing we do
Yes.
is we want to talk about behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And so please send in questions. Please send in behind the scenes questions, things you want to know about our jobs.
Specifically about Mark, but go on. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. About his guap.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done. I'm so done.
So I thought today would be interesting to tell people that most of our reporters are shooting their own stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think people know that.
Correct.
Most reporters that are out there in the fields are also their own photographers. So they're lugging around gear and they're setting it up and they're doing the interview while they're looking at the camera, and they go back and they edit it and they're doing it all.
They
Yeah.
write it, edit. Then,
Yeah.
The term is one-man band.
Or the one-man band is what we always called it. MSJ is what they call it now, multi-skilled journalist.
Yeah.
Right.
Which sounded better than one-man band, but
yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, or MMJ, multimedia
Right.
journalist.
Yes. Yes, that's what we used to call it, I think.
Yeah. It's interesting because I would say that kind of started widespread in practice like maybe 20 years ago, right? My first job was 05,
Yeah.
and that's kind of when they started having reporters, one-man band.
Yeah, I was interning in this market in Spokane in 2013, I think.
Yeah.
And we had one MMJ, and it was a big deal that
Yeah.
he was doing that.
Yep.
Everybody else kind of had photographers. And then when I started working in Reno in 2016, everyone was an MMJ.
Yep.
We had a couple senior reporters who had photogs all the time because they were very talented and had been doing
Yeah.
this for a long time. But anybody else that was hired, we were shooting our own stuff. And that was what I did in my first 3 markets. I was lucky to work with a photography staff in Raleigh, but yeah, I mean, you're doing your own stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
a lot.
I mean,
It's
I don't
hard.
know how you feel about it, but I would say that the majority of reporters would prefer to work with a photographer. There
Yeah.
are some that like working alone, but I think you just make a better product when you have 2 people working on the same
Yeah.
thing versus one.
And so the only time I did that, where I did we called it a one-man band back then, was when I first started, and I did everything from morning, noon, and night, and then I would go in an anchor,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you would go out, report all day. I would edit right up to the minute I had to. So when I started working with a photographer on a regular basis, the best part to me was this collaboration. Yeah, I grew as a reporter, I grew as a writer, and to me that was my favorite part, because originally I thought, oh, I like shooting video. So I thought, well, maybe I'll go to the photographer route. And then
Yeah.
which was funny because the whole part that I really enjoyed was writing. So, I got to this point where I was only working with photographers, and that was so fun to me,
Yeah.
was this collaboration, and I was able to do much better
Yeah.
stories than when I was shooting by myself. I was so focused on just trying to get it done when I was doing that.
Yeah.
So for me, I never really went back to doing the MSJ.
I
done it a
somehow
little
escaped
bit.
it my entire career. I've never had the MSJ.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
I feel lucky
I
to-
love being assigned with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have photographers that I've worked with over the years. I can name, 5 photographers right now that I think were just amazing to work
Yeah.
with, and I feel lucky to have worked with them. I could probably name a lot more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wow. Listen, by the time we're on air, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You're on now, right?
It feels different.
Yes, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But yeah, I MMJ'd for the first 7 years of my career, maybe, and really started to enjoy it. Like, got to a place of feeling really good about being able to get the product from beginning to end. And I would shoot, and it would kind of help me write, because I would think about, oh, that's a great shot, I'm going to start with it, and
That's true.
that kind of stuff was fun. But it was a lot harder to build rapport with people when you're out in the community, because you're shooting everything. You can't sit there and talk over your not sound.
Right.
It's challenging to do it by yourself. And then in my last market, I got to work with a photographer named Chris Hemrick, and we just became a really good team, and we were just really on the same page. And so we'd get in the car, and I'd ask, what's the best shot you got? Or I would kind of have writer's block, and he would say, well, what if we opened it this way? And, it just became a very fun, collaborative experience. And so when I first started working at that station where we had access to photographers, I was a little frustrated because I had such a vision for every story, and I had never had to communicate that to somebody else.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were many photographers who found me to be quite annoying, because I was like, no, we need an extra second here, and we need to start with this, and hold on this shot longer. Like, I was wow, talking is still kind of hard.
Yeah.
I was just really intense about it. But then, you know, you hit your stride with a partner in this
Right.
business, and it becomes so fun to be able to do work like that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I always liked when I was reporting in the field in Portland all the time. I was like getting your assignment, getting in the car with your photographer, and then talking about your assignment, like what your ideas were for it, the plan, and then kind of executing that plan and seeing it all come together. So
Yeah.
that whole process was enjoyable for me.
Yep.
It's a
So,
great feeling.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite part.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that so much
And if
more
you get a
than
lunch break,
than one man band.
even better.
That's a little greedy.
I know, it's true.
We don't, yes.
Yeah.
In fact, we were laughing because
But don't get overtime.
my husband, yes, my husband would
Okay.
always be like, "You're out and about. You probably know the better restaurants to go." You used to always say this to me, and I'm like, "Out and about. I have like in my bag right now. I have a bag of radishes, like 3
A granola
pieces
bar.
of cheese in the granola bar
Yeah.
because." And I find to this day I carry around always something
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we never stopped. Never stopped. Or I shouldn't say never. That's a
Yeah.
overstatement. I rarely ever stopped and actually got a lunch or sat down and
Yeah.
did lunch. We
Yeah,
ate in the
rarely you
car.
get a lunch,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Right.
so,
I always
which
had-
was fine. I never cared.
Yeah.
It was great.
Always had a protein bar or a meat stick or something
Yeah.
in my bag because you just
Exactly.
A
never
rabbit's
know.
foot. Oh,
Well,
wait a minute.
I think that was it's mostly you.
Balancing
Laura.
the laptop right in the front
Yes.
seat of a live van.
Yes.
With your lunch, your drink, and like it's just it's
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is a thing.
Well, this has been a good episode, I think.
I don't
It
think
has
for
been.
you.
I do
actually.
like the fact that we do get to eat in every episode
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
It's been great.
So now don't let us down.
Okay.
Next.
We'll figure something out.
Tiramisu next week.
Okay.
Tiramisu.
Well, so we want you guys to be part of the show. So we're going to start doing more of these. We're going to start posting them every week. And so please let us know if you've got ideas for the show, you got things that you want us to try, you've got questions about our business. Please reach out because we want you to be a part of it too. Find us on social media, text it to us, email news tips, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll find us and we will try to answer your
Also,
questions.
we're sorry for Jackson's swear word.
Yes.
Yeah, we're contacting the
we will talk
FCC
to- We're going
right
to
now.
talk to his mother.
It's okay.
Frankly.
It fits in with the Gen Z.
I've got Rachel
stuff.
on the phone.
Yeah.
His mom.
He's like a,
Mother.
You're in trouble.
Yes.
No, but I think so. Let us know what you guys want, and
Yeah,
we'll
love to hear some feedback.
incorporate it. Thanks. All right, we'll see you next time in the break.